What's up, y'all? This is Carlton, Coach Carl, Coach CO2, as some of the people call me. We're back with another show. Welcome to the 1L Playbook Podcast. Back with another show. If you guys don't know yet, I've been kind of still working on all the offerings, but this show is brought to you by 1L Playbook. 1L Playbook is a system actually that helps first year law students understand the process of briefing, class prep, exam prep. We work with students on getting them ready for their first year, end of the year law school exams, the end of the semester law school exams, which is critical. We do one-on-one coaching. We have a master class that we actually are putting together, which will be training you over the course of a few weeks. And we also have an ebook. The ebook is ready. We're just going through the final processes of getting it out online. But the pre-order should be out pretty soon. So make sure you just stay tied into our Instagram and also our Facebook for now. But check back to 1lplaybook.com where you'll be able to access some more information. We're going to also have some free stuff that we're going to be dropping and giving out to 1Ls to make the process a lot easier. So today I wanted to talk about something that I address in the book as well. And this is the difference between traditional college learning versus traditional law school learning. Now, I just want you to think back. If you're listening to this show or you're watching me tonight or this morning or whenever you're watching me, I just want you to think back when you was in college, okay, or maybe even high school. I want you to think back of those times where you would just go to class. Depending if you go to a large school or a small school, you would just go to class, and you had you get your courses, you go to class, and you would take good notes. You would read whatever the assigned chapters in the book were based on what the teacher told you to do. You take good notes out of that, and those good notes would give you everything that you needed to basically go through this process of memorizing everything. And then once you're able to memorize everything, you're then able to regurgitate that in some type of, maybe it's a multiple choice question, or maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's an essay form. It may be an essay form, but the majority of the college tests have been more, multiple choice, fill in the blank type stuff, which supports more like memorization and things like that. But do you remember that time? Do you remember how that process was? And if you were like me, I mastered that because I was able to say, okay, well, all I need to do is just memorize this information, know it like the back of my hand, all the way to the brim in my mind, and just run into the exam and just like do a brain dump, basically do a brain dump. And that's essentially the traditional college learning, you can even say high school learning process of going in, information gathering, information synthesizing or learning through notes, and then being able to spit that or regurgitate that information out and do multiple choice exams or anything that lends well. So that is the traditional college learning experience. Now, let me tell you what you're probably going through right now. And you're probably a little bit bewildered. Like, all right, ran into a little bit of a technical issue. So yeah, so right now, as a 1L, you're probably going through some level of crisis because for 4 years you've been in college, or you've gone through this college experience, and you go to class, you ask questions in class, the professor gives you the answers, the professor's lecturing you, giving you the information that you're supposed to know for the exam. You get to law school, the professor assigns all of this case law to read, then has you go through this long process of being able to brief cases. You still don't know exactly what you are briefing and what this information is. I mean, you probably get bits and pieces of it. You get to class and you ask a question, and the professor answers you with a question. You're like, what in the world is going on? And so you go through this process. You know you got to be learning something because they are going to test you on something at the end of the semester, but you don't know exactly what to learn, how to learn it, where's the information, how much of the information you need to know. It's very, very murky at best in terms of knowing exactly what you need to be doing, how you need to be studying. All you know is you're doing what they're telling you to do. Brief your cases. Brief your cases, brief your cases. Now, the reason why I wanted to compare and contrast the two is because in law school, the method of teaching is what they call the Socratic Method. If you're a little bit of a history buff like myself, Socrates was a philosopher that would spend a lot of time in teaching by having the student do more self-discovery by asking questions. He would then ask the student questions as a way to get the students to start thinking about what the possible outcomes are. And so this method of teaching caught on in law school. I don't know when exactly, but it caught on, and it's become like the way in which most law schools teach the law. Now, unfortunately, that's not the best way for you to learn. Best way for you to learn is the lecture style, right? You go into class, maybe you still read the cases, you still do the prescribed reading, but the teacher at least tells you, okay, this is what you need to know out of this case. This is the rule of law you need to know. This is the issue that they're addressing. This is what you need to know. But you're not going to get that from your professors, at least not in your first year. Second year, third year, it becomes more lecture style, more so the end of your second going into your third. And so this is what I call the danger zone in your first semester of law school, where you are overwhelmed with briefing, you're overwhelmed with reading, you're overwhelmed with the classes, you're getting involved in large study groups, and so now you got the blind leading the blind, and nobody really knows how to study or what to study, but everybody feels like, well, if we just come together and we just recite these briefs or these cases that we're talking about in class, and somehow, some way, we're getting something. We feel good about it. I was a victim of it as well. And that's why I'm here today to tell you that there's a different way. Now, because you know that this is the style of learning, it's not to say that you got to throw out all those skills you learn on being able to memorize, being able to synthesize information, being able to gather information. All those skills that you learned in college, those beautiful skills, they're not going to go totally to waste here. You just have to now go about getting that information differently. And unfortunately, it's not going to be in class. It's going to be following a system of knowing exactly what you need to get out of the cases, how you need to build your outlines, and also how to start practicing and studying for your exams now. That's where we come in. That's what we want to help you with, is getting that information and taking all of the mystery around what you need to be doing. That's now all out of the window. We are here to help you see through and to understand what's really going on in law school, and what your professors are not telling you, and what your fellow colleagues don't know as well. So I just wanted to just talk with you guys about the differences, because it's so critical. It's so critical. Of course, when you pick up the book, you get a chance to to read more about those differences. And also, I talk about the Karate Kid method, which I think I talked about that as an episode a couple of episodes ago. The Karate Kid method also plays into how the professors feel as if they're going to teach you how to study. They feel like they're Mr. Miyagi, and they're going to have you doing all of this work, and somehow you doing all this work is creating these skills to be able to magically turn into a lawyer. So, but there's so much more to that. All right. So that is it for today's show, guys. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook, we're at 1L Playbook. Instagram, I think we're at 1L Playbook as well. Like I said, we will have the site up soon. Make sure you go to 1lplaybook.com. We're going to have some free content there. I'm going to also be doing a free webinar soon, as well as a workshop on that particular page. So make sure you continue to look for that. It should be up hopefully within the next week or two. I'm just working with the tech guys to try to put it all together, because I want it to be really straightforward for students to be able to access and get the information. If you know of anybody, maybe you're not a law school student, you just come across this video or recording. If you know someone that is entering law school or is in their first year of law school and they need help, they want to get the edge on getting ready for their exams, and they want to be the best versions of themselves as they take the exam, send them my contact information. You can email me. You can call me. You go to my Facebook page, and my number is on there. You can call me, WhatsApp me, and I'll answer just about any question. You just reach out to me, and I'll give you my ear, give you my time. Okay, so that is it for today. Had a couple of technical issues with my IG live, but hopefully everything is worked out. And that is it for today. So until next time, good hunting. Holla back.